Hello again, super deformed collectors. So I had this come up online, and I thought I'd give it a chance. Unfortunately, it looks too big, but well, I already bought it, so let's see what happens. Just get this plastic wrap off. So this is a Porsche 993 with an RWB body kit, and then naturally it's very cartooned. So I think the brand, I'm not sure which one is the brand, You&Car or Furuya, I'm not sure. It's got some RWB stuff on here, but oh, well, look at that. I think this is actually an official licensed product because it literally has the website information and their address. So it's unfortunate that they just seem to pick their own scale. That I have one of those Model Collect 911s, and that's an officially licensed product, and it's not 1/64 scale. It's more like, I forget, it's like 150 something. And now this also looks quite huge. So, alright, let's see here. Pretty loose cover. We have some tape here holding this wing on. Let's see if I can get that off with my fingernail here. Alright, so this is nice. Nice metallic plate here. Oh, I didn't realize this limited edition. 500 of this colorway, I'm gonna guess. So that's nice photo etched metal. Alright, so, you know, this has sensitive parts on it, so I'm not gonna take it off the base. I learned my lesson before fondling a model. I broke the fender, the mudguards off, just by handling the thing. Alright, let's, well, you know, let's take a look at this wing here, because it looks a little bit weird to not have it on. Oh boy. I think I'm gonna have to sharpen this knife. Alright, so, seems to have a decal, an orange striped decal on it, and an RWB logo down there. But you know, I don't know if that's a decal, because I don't see any of that clear wrinkliness. Well, maybe it is there. Okay, well, it's nice. Nicely done. The wing is plastic. Yeah, it's all plastic. I can just see by the thickness it's not metal. And then here, there's a black texture, and it's actually messed up. Like, this side is pretty even, but look what happened here. So, I don't know. Alright, well, let's put it on the engine here. And so, it's a pretty lame engine. I don't know why they would even bother doing that, really. It just seems wasteful. But I guess maybe it's because this has to be a separate piece. Anyways, you couldn't mold. I don't think you can mold this wing on because it's a giant undercut. So, yeah, I think this wing also is two pieces. Yeah, the black and that. So, I guess they figured since this has to be a separate piece anyways, they might as well put a lame engine in there. Alright, well, let's put this on. It just seems to be a friction fit. There's some tabs here. I guess they must go into tabs in the body. Although it doesn't seem to really want to create a good seam. You see that gap? It might require some shaving down there, but if you shave it down, I think the blue paint will vanish. So that's kind of poorly done. Although it looks pretty good in the back. It's just that top gap isn't very good. Alright, I also feel it's going to fall off. Yep, there it goes. So some sticky tack is going to be necessary. And actually, I have some yellow sticky tack right here. So this stuff is great because it doesn't leave any marks. You can, unfortunately that's too much sticky tack. Alright, so hopefully that, I don't think that can fall off anymore. Alright, let me back out a little bit. Let me also get in some better light here. Alright, so, well, it's the Gulf livery, It literally even says Gulf up here. It's an old oil company. So the blue is not metallic, it's just like a baby blue. And then there's orange as well. Unfortunately, here in the front, you can see this decal, these air pockets, they're pretty bad. That's a pretty poorly applied decal. Same here, that orange there. So ideally this would have been painted. That's unfortunate. Anyways, eventually this is going to harden and it's going to crack. So it's going to be a problem. Also, the decals aren't really going into the creases very well. Right, so that's why I don't like decals. Tampo printing is simply superior. Alright, well, we do have some separate wiper blades. I think, yeah, those are photo etched metal. They're just painted black, but they're flat. There's a decal here. The windows, I think, are just plain black. I don't think they're... I'll get a flashlight. I don't think they're smoked. No, they're just solid black. Alright. So the headlights are, clear plastic. Unfortunately, there's just silver paint behind them, but no sort of molding detail. There's nothing looking like a light bucket, nothing looking like a light bulb. It's just very plain. It's better than a painted headlight, but it could have been better very easily. They could have molded some detail in there. The Porsche badge still looks really good though. It's a foil sticker. Let me focus on it. Yeah, see? It looks like a Porsche crest. Not bad, not bad. You also see there's a red tow hook sticking out. I don't know if that's a piece of metal or a piece of plastic. It's a little thick to be metal. I think it's actually a piece of plastic. Okay, now you'll see the turn indicators. They're actually plastic, and there's a little silver behind them, so that's nice. The vent here, it's just black paint, I guess. And there's a very faint texture. I'm going to have to change the angle here again to get a better light cast on there. There you go. You can see the texture in the grill. Alright, so yeah, the black paint isn't done very well. It's too bad. These canards seem to be separate pieces. And I do feel like they might be plastic because they're thick. They're not thin metal. Alrighty. You can see all the dimple marks for the over fenders. And then there's a fuel filler there. Separate mirrors are pretty nice. And they have reflective stickers. You can literally see the blue reflecting right there. So that's as good as it gets. Number 44, I'm not sure if that has any significance. Separate plastic canard back here as well. And you can see the paint here, that's black paint. Unfortunately, it didn't cover the edge, so that's not a very good process there. The wheels look pretty good. You can see some lug nut details. And the tires look really good. Good curvature to the sidewall, and then they're printed with that idlers. Not sure what it's pronounced, how it's pronounced really. No brake system that I can see. It's just black back there. But I guess we're cartoon carts, alright. This is black paint here. Yeah. Alright, so it looks like this rear bumper is a separate piece because I can see a brake there. And then some vent details. Unfortunately, there's nothing for a license plate. It would have been nice to have like an RWB license plate, or maybe say 993 or something. And then these exhaust tips actually have a center depth, and they're painted black, I think. So that's pretty good on the exhaust tips. Although the silver isn't really covering the rim so much. Alright, the rear window, yeah, it's just black paint. That's pretty well done though. We went over the wing already. I'm now noticing there's a Gulf decal on the side of this wing here, right? Some flash here from the molding process. Tires look good again. Well, this front one doesn't look as good. It's not printed very well. Decal's good there. Unfortunately, a contaminant now here in the window. Alright. Well, and then also extra flash in the wheels. let's compare it to a couple other models. Alright, this first car I'm going to pull up is a 993 RWB, but a 1/64 scale one, and it's made by Fuel Me. It's called the Royal Ocean. It's got a really cool livery, obviously. So, you know, the Fuel Me costs a lot more money, but you can see the canards on this Fuel Me are very thin metal pieces. Hopefully you can see as it rotates around. And then obviously the Fuel Me actually has an interior, has transparent windows. And it also has like those sheet metal windows, so they're extremely clear. But yes, it is a totally different price bracket, so it should be exceptionally better as far as the amount of work effort goes. Alright, let's get this guy out of here and let's compare it to other Q-shaped vehicles. So this next one is a RWB Porsche 964, and it's made by VIP Scale Models. It's simply a superior model. Again, you can see the canards on the front are thin pieces of metal. Right there you can see, hopefully. And then, well, simply the scale is better, I think. So let's go to the top view here. You can see the size difference. I mean, sure, we're talking about cartoon cars, but I'd like to have all my cartoon cars around the same size. You know, it's weird to have two Porsche 911s so different in their size, right? Okay. But again, the VIP scale models is a more expensive model. So if the size doesn't matter so much, you know, this one's actually a pretty good deal. But if, you know, tighter details matter to you, then VIP is a better model. There's actually a photo etched metal tow hook here in the front of this thing. It's black, it's hard to see. And then also the headlights actually have some depth to them. You know, it's a chrome light bucket and then a plastic lens cover. Unfortunately, because of the dirty version, you can't see the taillights very well. Okay, but anyways, yeah, if I had to pick, I'd go with VIP models. Now let's compare it to the standard. It would be ChoroQs. So here's a ChoroQ Porsche 996. And so again, look at the size difference. It's weird, you know. I couldn't really display this with all my ChoroQs. And if ChoroQ is a standard, that's really the size you want to go for. So I'll pull out a couple more ChoroQs to compare with. Here's a 250 GTO. And now I'm even going to pull out a 3-axle truck. And now it's around the same size. So let me move this one this way. Alright, and then I'm going to put a Hot Wheels. They have their tuned version. And then another Hot Wheels. The Beetle, which I've customized quite a bit. So now let's go to the top view. So Hot Wheels is pretty smart. They're making their tuned vehicles around the same size as a ChoroQ, so they can sit in the same display. Right? So the ChoroQ, you know, truck is obviously larger than the cars, but it's because it has a whole third axle, so it makes sense. But for me, it just doesn't make sense to have this Gulf Porsche wider than that semi-truck. Right? Alright, well, let's let this guy spin on its own, since this video is about it. Alright, so you've heard my complaints. It's basically the size. For the price, it's a pretty cool looking cartoon car, but it's definitely not as good as the other ones, I think. I think it costs more than a ChoroQ. it definitely has better details because it has plastic headlights and taillights, and the tires are, you know, staggered in a certain way that you know, they look better, I think. But yeah, it's just a weirdly odd large size. So be mindful of that if you're collecting these things. You might want to avoid this brand if you want to keep things more consistent. So with that said, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get another one of these You&Car deformed vehicles or not. Well, I don't know. Anything can happen, I guess. Alright, well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see ya.